seem to the best interests and welfare of the city, without fear, favor, or affection? And do you further swear or affirm that you are not the holder of any unaccounted public money due the state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, and that you are not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state, which by the laws of Georgia you are prohibited from holding, and that you are otherwise qualified to be a public officer according to the Constitution and law of the state of Georgia, so help you God. If so, say I do.
I do.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, this time, Jen Martha.
Jen, place your left hand on the Bible and raising your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully and truly perform the duties of council member of this city, that you will support and defend the United States Constitution, the Constitution of the state of Georgia, and the charter of the city of Newnan to the best of your skill and ability, and as to you shall seem to the best interest and welfare of the city, without fear, favor, or affection? And do you further swear or affirm that you are not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, that you are not the holder of any office or trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state, which by the laws of the state of Georgia you are prohibited from holding, and that you are otherwise qualified to be a public officer according to the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia, so help you God. If you do, please say, I do. Jen, congratulations.
And Mr. Scott Burdock.
Scott, if you'll put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and truly perform the duties of council member of this city, and that I will support and defend the United States Constitution, the Constitution of the state of Georgia, and the charter of the city of Newnan to the best of my skill and ability, and as to me shall seem to the best interest and welfare of the city, without fear, favor, or affection. I do further swear or affirm that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, that I am not the holder of any office or trust under the government of the United States or any other state or any foreign state, which by the laws of the state of Georgia I am prohibiting from holding, and that I am otherwise qualified to be a public officer according to the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia. So help me God. If you do, will you say I do?
I do.
All right. Congratulations.
Oh, we have to stand back up.
And with that, I call this meeting to order. Reverend Pollard, would you please lead us in invocation?
Let us pray. Loving and eternal God, we give you thanks for the gift of this day, for everyone gathered in this room, and for this moment. Loving God, we pray that your grace would continue to guide us, and that you would be with these leaders, Lord God, who have been brought to this time for such a time as this. Give them courage, Lord God. May your wisdom guide their decision making. May your heart for compassion fill their hearts. Keep them close to the people. Keep their ears close to the needs of those, and help them to decide things in the way of justice and mercy. Lord, we pray that you would continue to have your hand over the city of Newnan and its citizens, that you would prosper the work of our hands, cover and keep us, O God, and that we would remain connected and committed to you. Be with our new mayor, be with our new council people, and help us, God, to remember that we are needed for one another and that our survival is intertwined. Thank you for your love, thank you for your grace, and thank you for your goodness. It is in your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
I'm going to let some of these folks clear out a little bit, clear the line of sight. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Al. All right. With that, we move into the election of the mayor pro tem.
I'd like to make a motion for Mr. Scott Berta.
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations to be made on that, or okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
By like sign, all opposed? All right, with that, Scott Berta. With that, we move into appointment of city officials, starting with our department heads. Motion to consider to adopt the city officials as listed in the agenda. Can I get a second? Can I get a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, all in favor of
Are
it?
we doing department heads only? Are you doing
Yes,
the whole slate?
just for the department heads.
Not the whole slate.
No, just for department heads, yeah. So all in favor of adopting the department heads as listed on the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, with that, department heads are accepted. Moving to city attorney, I'll make a motion to accept the city attorney as noted in the agenda. Can I get a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right. Then with that, I nominate Vernon Strickland. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
as a point of understanding here, isn't Mr. Vernon Strickland already the one in the agenda? And now you're renominating him again as Vernon Strickland?
Well, we're moving into consideration of Mr. Strickland as on the agenda.
I thought that's what we just did. Am I confused?
Oh, yeah, we're moving into consideration of Mr. Strickland.
That's what we just did, though. We just voted on
We just did that.
Okay, then yes.
city attorney.
Okay, yeah.
First, I just want to make sure that I understood.
Yeah.
It was city attorney per the agenda. Now you're saying city attorney per Vernon Strickland?
City attorney, so motion to consider the next agenda item, city attorney Vernon Strickland as nominated. Motion to approve Vernon Strickland as city attorney. And motion to open the floor for debate on the agenda item.
Okay.
Any commentary or any debate? And anyone want to be recognized from the floor for Mr. Strickland?
Well, may I just get a point of order?
Yeah.
I recall we did a motion for department heads, which we voted on, and then I heard there was a motion and a second for the city attorney, and we voted on that. That was, I believe, a 5-2 vote against, and now we're back on city attorney?
I
Is that
think-
correct, or did I miss?
No, the motion was just to approve the agenda item as written, but I'm still nominating Vernon.
okay,
I'm
got
still nominating Vernon M. Strickland,
Okay,
opening for
okay.
debate. So So all looking for debate on Vernon Strickland. Any commentary here? Does anyone have any comments on Mr. Strickland?
The only comments that I have are that I think that this is a good nomination. He has experience. He has a love for Newnan that is undoubted and unquestionable. And so I think that after we've had such a big turnover in our community, that it is a good time to have someone come in and take the reins to go forward.
All right. Other comments?
I was just going to say, you know, I can appreciate that, appreciate Mr. Strickland, you sending that information, kind of giving an opportunity to kind of get to know you a little bit better, because I didn't know you. So that's all. I just want to say I appreciate
Right.
you taking the time to send that information.
Thank you. And I'll note, as a point of order, and I sent a memo around to the city council earlier today, because of some of the procedural irregularities that raised some questions about the legal validity of our most recent ordinance regarding the appointment of the city attorney, it is my understanding that right now.
Excuse me, may I interrupt?
Yeah.
We,
Yep.
may I ask that we stay on the motion?
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, this is a point of procedure. There is a point of procedure here.
I'm not sure that applies to this motion.
Okay.
Well, if I could, just a point
Yeah.
of privilege then.
Yeah.
Is an email that when I didn't get any such email,
Okay.
I just didn't get it, so.
Okay. Apologies, Dust. I thought you should be on there, but my apologies.
And it could just be the system, you know, who knows?
Okay.
It's the great ether out there.
In that case, I'm going to move
I would like to
to,
speak
yeah, go on.
about this. The way the city attorney has gone about is not customary to what I have experienced in my years of replacing people that have been in office or in a position for many, many years. And this city attorney has been in our
Mr.
city.
Thompson, if we're going to be discussing Vernon, then
Excuse
just
me,
as a motion,
I'm gonna
as a
talk
point
about
of.
Vernon. I'm talking about Vernon.
Okay, yeah, please.
I'm gonna talk about Vernon. And so the way that this has happened with Mr. Vernon coming through is not the way that I perceive when we make a choice of a next city attorney to happen. The vetting of a city attorney should be open to everyone. We should do it in private so that we're not talking about people's lives and personalities in public. I like Mr. Vernon. He's reached out to me. We've spoken. However, for the benefit of stability for the city, we have had a lot of turnover right now. To have one more turnover, to force another turnover at this particular time, I do not think is in the best interest of the city of Newnan. In the not-too-distant future, Mr. Brad will retire. I would love for us to go into a process where we look at candidates, we discuss with candidates what our expectation is of them, and we don't do this as a knee-jerk reaction like this. So my vote is not a vote against Mr. Vernon Strickland. It's a vote on the timing and what I think is best for the city of Newnan right now, January 2026. Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, just to clarify, do you have any objections to Mr. Vernon's, to Mr. Strickland's credentials or to him as a candidate
I have
in any way?
objections to the fact that I have not had an opportunity to properly vet Mr. Strickland.
All right. Further, I believe, Mr. Strickland, did you have a statement to the point of this? If you would take the dais, please.
And while he's coming to the dais,
Yeah.
would we give the same opportunity to the current city attorney?
So, then, Dustin, may I, point of personal privilege here, may I explain the email that I sent to Mr. Cricco, who did not receive it?
I didn't receive it either.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened there. I know that I got,
What time did you send it?
A couple hours ago. a few hours ago.
You and I spoke, what, about 10 till 2? So did you send it before or after that?
Before that, it was sent before that.
Interesting.
So the email that I sent is that because of, there is, I think, significant doubt as to this process at the moment. Considering the, frankly, irregularities in how this ordinance was passed, so to give a civics lesson, not to repeat some trends from the past, under Georgia law, it is the charter that controls in city law. And when rules of procedure are adopted within that charter, they have to be followed, and they are not treated as merely procedural, but as binding under the charter. Because Robert's rules have been adopted under the charter, except for those instances where it conflicts with other parts of the charter, and because Robert's rules was disregarded entirely and substantively in the course of the last ordinance being passed, purported to change the nomination process of the city attorney, I believe and would seek, if we decide to not move forward in the current way with Mr. Strickland, I'm going to ask us to suspend this and put it before a court to give us a declaratory opinion on whether that ordinance was rightly passed. So it is my view that that the council does not have a right to nominate, that the mayor has the right to nominate, and the council appoints on that basis under the current statute. But if we would like to suspend this decision, we will need to find outside counsel because of Mr. Sears' conflict, but we would need to put that before a court for a declaratory opinion on whether that is binding. So it is my view that right now the mayor under either of the ordinance has the right to nominate, but if we're looking for other nominations, we'll need to suspend and put that before a court.
And if I could, just as a refresh, what does the actual charter say? The current charter, what's the actual verbiage on it?
The charter just simply says that the city council appoints, but the ordinance as currently, with my understanding that the last ordinance is void under Georgia law, which I believe it is,
Okay.
then the mayor appoints, or the mayor nominates, sorry, the mayor appoints, council approves, which is the full appointment process.
So, do we have a motion on the floor right now?
The motion on the floor is consideration of Mr. Vernon Strickland.
Okay, and we have a second?
And we have a valid second, yeah.
Okay.
And we're in discussion.
Okay,
And we are currently in discussion as such.
okay.
And the chair recognizes Mr. Strickland.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, it's indeed my pleasure and honor to stand before you today. Not wanting to be one that's a part of the political process, but this is necessarily a political exercise that needs to happen by the vote of the city council members here today. So I'm very honored for that. By way of background, as I shared with you all previously, I have very vast experiences in representing not only municipalities and counties, but some of Georgia's biggest and largest brands. And so I'm very much entrusted with those. When I'm brought into those matters, it's not like we have to go back and, have the King and Spalding, which is the prior attorney for Coca-Cola or whomever, but I'm brought in for those matters, and I'm asked to advise on those legal issues and those business issues, those procedural issues that these companies, some of the largest companies in the world, are willing to entrust me with. And so it's an honor for me to have this opportunity and privilege for whatever has to happen in terms of your deliberations. Certainly, I appreciate you all have taken the time to look at my credentials, the communications, and for you, Mr. Tomlinson, for actually taking the time to speak with me on the phone to discuss. But any other questions that you may have, rest assured, I've been in these situations before. It's not like I have to have an onboarding process. I've been practicing law for 20 years now. I'm a former engineer. So in terms of being able to handle the duties and the business of this city, for the city, which is the client, the mayor is not the client, the city council is not the client, management is not the client, but the city of Newnan is the client, and I well and understand that, and being able to do things that are both defensible at law and as well as defensible before the public and the people of this great city. So with that, if there are any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those in terms of my qualifications, which I'm confident of, but I do want to leave with this. Regardless, if I said in my letter, if I'm chosen for this opportunity or not, it's indeed an honor to even be considered for this opportunity. And so if I'm not chosen today, there's been many some very large opportunities that have not materialized for me in the past, and God had something bigger and better in terms of that. And so if this doesn't happen today, you're not hurting my feelings. I know with some of you, I have personal relationship with you. I've stood beside you in different terms and things of that nature. So if you don't make that happen today, guess what? God has something bigger and better for this time. And there may be another time and season when you all want to make that change and move. But I would implore you to trust me. Regardless of the process, trust me, the individual that you know, the intellectual that you know, the fighter that you know, the transparent citizen that you know, to get the job done and to lead the city, to help to advise the city as you lead it and as you administer what you need to administer in the best way forward. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any further discussion from anyone else on the chair or on the dais? So again, just to make the point here, we will be considering Mr. Vernon Strickland. Should we decide not to move forward with him, I do not have other nominees contemplated, and we will need to suspend this. If the council wants to put forward nominees, we will need to suspend this motion, find outside counsel, and take it before court for a declaratory opinion. Yes, Mr. Strickland.
Just for clarification's sake, in my understanding, I wanted to ask specifically, Councilman Thomason, I wanted to ask the process. You mentioned, I believe, just from my understanding, you mentioned instability that could come from making a decision that's not properly vetted. Could you clarify what that instability would look like in terms of like what that would mean for the my apologies. Clarify what you mean by what the properly vetted process looks like for you. Like I'm just curious. Like for those who are not involved in government processes. What's that? If you can answer that question.
And please note that this is for the record. Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like there's like a.
Well, thank you for being here, and for having the courage to stand up for all these people.
Paul, could you please state your name? My apologies.
My apologies. My name is Drake Vernon Strickland.
Great, thank you.
I'm more than happy to sit down with you and anybody else and talk in detail about my thoughts. But my thoughts are just my one opinion. What I'd like to happen in terms of vetting is we go into a group and we come out with the consensus on what the next step is. I don't have all that figured out because I'm not the only one that does this. However, I have been through time and time again search committees and search processes. And so they're kind of a stable boundaries on or kind of guidelines on what you do. So in general, I would like to have this open up for everyone to have an opportunity to apply that would be interested. And then from there, we would seek some type of a guidance. This is what, again, I'm just one person, right? So if you were to ask me how I would whiteboard this, I would start, and then from there, we would vet down. And then from there, I feel like we would come up with the most qualified candidate. This is not saying, is that your father? Yeah, your father is not the most qualified candidate. I don't know that at this time. The process leads me to that. And so, but I'm happy to sit down with you and tell you about my experience, but I feel like when we go through that process, hopefully we do, then we'll come out and we'll be able to share with everybody what we came together as we thought was the right way to go.
Mr. Thompson, what vetting process has been done in the past during your time on council for candidates?
Mr. Mayor, with point of privilege, with all the murmuring, I'm having a very hard time hearing the conversation up here.
Please, to the extent we can keep that down, especially during this question time. Some of us have worse hearing than others, myself included. But Mr. Thompson, what was the vetting process for the city attorney during the rest of your time here?
Well, at the time Mr. Brad was appointed 40 years ago, I wasn't here.
No, but have you done a vetting process looking for other candidates for the city attorney? Is my question.
No. This would be starting my third year. First 2 years, the only nominee was Mr. Brad Sears.
And who presented that nominee each time?
These are a lot of questions you're asking me, but I want to say that Roadshell maybe did it 2 years in a row. Yeah, probably Rhodes. Brad shaking his head, Rhodes.
That would have been inconsistent with the ordinance as it was understood at the time.
I don't want to get an argument here, but can I just?
I'm not trying to put an argument,
but
I would like to
going down a rabbit hole. But I do want to. You mentioned something about the charter earlier, and I do feel like the charter takes precedent. And if we could just read the charter out, do we have that, Mr. Brad, available to us, the language, or somebody can find that?
Mr.
Just so the
Phillips, yeah.
public can hear again what the charter says as it relates to,
Section 3.3.
Because basically, as we understand it,
because-
as I understand it, I should say, regardless of what the ordinance says, the charter always takes precedence. That's the equivalent of state law.
The question at hand, and just as a point of clarification, the point of clarification is that it is unclear to me, there are two items, it is unclear to me under the charter, whether, first off, whether the ordinance as it existed before the December 9th meeting was in conflict with the charter or articulating the process for the charter. And the other issue is that in alignment with the charter was violated and was not followed in the passage of the December 9th ordinance. So my view, and we can, again, this is something that would have to be, we would have to weigh this in, to get this weighed in on by a court if we wanted to not continue this forward today, is that ordinance is void. And therefore, the current process of the mayor nominates and the city council has to approve and advise and consent is the actual binding and currently standing process.
So in light of the current motion, would it be safe to say that we go with strictly just the charter? Can we go with just the charter and not the ordinance? And just say it's council? It's a council appointment?
No, because we would have to pass a new ordinance to do so. This is the problem of the procedural confusion, and that's what I'm pointing out, is that, and I'll circulate this email again, I'm sorry that you didn't receive it. The point of this procedural confusion is that right now, the standing ordinance requires, in my view, and that on the legal basis of under the law of Georgia, requires that I nominate and the council approve. So if anyone wants to make any other nominations, we need to get a declaratory opinion from a court to make sure that we can do that and it will be legally valid. Because it is my opinion that if we did that right now, it would not be legally valid.
all right, so I asked for the charter to be read. We found that? Because the charter takes precedent. I think everybody agrees, and Mr. Vernon.
The charter allows us to pass
Excuse me, I'm
ordinances.
speaking. May I finish?
Yep, you may.
Thank you. At the last meeting in December, Mr. Vernon got up and actually agreed that the charter does take precedent. And I just think for everybody to hear this again.
I want to point out, I believe that this is out of order. If we're talking about trying to pull one segment of the charter, when in fact there's also this question of what ordinances are validly controlling under the charter and have been validly passed under the charter. That's the question that I think we would have to, Jim, I think you're raising the question we'd have to take before a court, because I
would
have
just
my
like
view of
to
it.
be reminded of
May
what the charter
may I
said.
step in here a little
Yeah.
bit? So, just for clarity, what I hear you saying, you really want to go to court over this.
No, I really, really don't. My
Makes it
concern is that we are in legally dubious waters, and I don't want us to be subject to litigation on that basis.
Well, also, as a point of order, if you want to, we are really out of order because we're not adhering to the charter. And by allowing public input to the nominee, that's out of order. You should have taken a vote as to allow public speaking, which you did not do.
That- I disagree with you on that.
Well, you can disagree with me all you want, but just read the charter. I mean, the
Well, the
charter
charter
is
says
where
Robert's
he
Rules
would
of
have
Order.
to get so
No.
Mr. Strickland can come
He
up and
controls
speak.
whether
Brett,
or not
let me
someone
finish
speaks.
Wait,
here.
so
You-
this is, sorry,
Here's where
Ms.
we
James,
are.
you're out of order.
We are on points of order, points of privilege, and we're talking about the charter, and the charter clearly states that if there is to be public input, i.e. the gentleman coming up and asking the questions, i.e. Mr. Vernon coming up and speaking and not allowing Mr. Brad to speak, that's out of order. The vote had to be taken as for us to permit that type of language. So that's where we are. So I'm hearing distinctly, you're not agreeing with as the ordinance being written. We're avoiding the charter, and you would prefer to take this body to court.
Absolutely not.
To get it hammered out.
Absolutely not. So,
That's what,
no,
that's
no,
what I'm hearing.
Paul, I'm sorry, and let me clarify, because apparently I'm not being clear. My point here is that we are, right now, I do not know, and I don't think that we have clarity on what the ordinance says, on what ordinance is currently binding, because we have one ordinance that gives the mayor the power to nominate and the council only the power to approve based on that nomination. But then we have another ordinance that I believe, based on various things I sent around in this email, was invalidly passed and is therefore void under Georgia law. So if that is void, then we have to operate under the old nomination process, or else we have to go through a new process of amending the ordinance under the proper rules. But in either case, if we do not, we have to get clarity on that unless we kind of agree that this is the nomination and we're moving forward from that point, and then we can clarify it moving forward. Otherwise, I frankly, we need other parties to weigh in on this that are beyond my expertise and frankly, I think the expertise of this body.
So if I could, just
Yes.
to keep things moving a little bit.
Sorry,
That
I
was
think,
next. That was next.
oh, sorry, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Ms. Jenkins did have a,
I
so to
think that
speak.
the point of this conversation right now is that we have, the discussion is around whether or not we will approve. Sorry, I think that the question that is before us is whether or not we will approve Mr. Vernon Strickland, and that Mr. Mayor's comment is that because there was a procedural problem at December 9th, he wants the court to weigh in on whether or not that vote took place properly under our charter.
Well-
Which is exactly what I brought up at the end of the last meeting.
well, just one point of clarification. I don't necessarily want a court to weigh in. My point is that under either of the ordinances, the mayor can nominate. This is the nomination I'm making, so if we want other nominations to come forward, we have to get clarity on what the actual, because right now, it's unclear what the ordinance actually says. So that's my point.
But that doesn't have to happen if this process is followed.
And in
which is
either
the
case, we need to-
process
we need to
we've
update
had
the ordinance.
For 22 years.
If I could just to help expedite and kind of bring some clarity, it's maybe to avoid the costs, the potentially unnecessary cost of going to court and saving that money for the city and the hardworking citizens, residents of the city of Newnan. We take a vote on it currently as is for Mr. Strickland, and then I would like to, at that point, that we revisit the current ordinance, the one that was passed in December, and put that back on the agenda for our next meeting. We'll vote on it again as a council. And then we'll have clarity and it'll be resolved within a matter of a couple of sessions instead of a rather drawn out and very costly and expensive litigious process.
That makes, I think that would be an option. That's a possibility. So in that case, should we call the question on Mr. Strickland? And, before we do, let me say a few things. The reason I nominated Vernon Strickland is not because of change for change's sake. I nominated Vernon Strickland because I truly believe that when it comes to generalist attorneys in the city of Newnan, and as we move forward, he has expertise that we need for a $40 million, almost 50,000 person organization. And that is not to call into question Mr. Sears' credentials or his ability, but we are at a point when there is turnover happening, when the people have asked for change, and I believe that at this point we are moving forward. And frankly, part of the reason is not to create instability, Jim. The reason that I want this is because I want to make sure that I've got somebody who I know and I trust their legal work. And I, as much respect as I have for Brad, I know Vernon's work, I trust Vernon's work, and I trust him as an attorney to lead us at this stage of the city, because we are much bigger than we were 40 years ago. We are in a different legal, economic, demographic, and every other position than we were 40 years ago. And I put Vernon forward because he is, again, one of the finest lawyers I have ever met in my life. And I know a lot of lawyers. I went to school with a bunch of them. So I'm not putting this forward as some kind of, shot across the bow or anything. I'm putting it forward because he's the right guy for the job. I'm putting him forward because he's a good man who's involved in this community, who knows this community backward and forward, whose family has been here in this community, embedded in this community for hundreds of years, and who has had every opportunity to go and take some fancy job anywhere else, but decided to come home. This is someone who has impeccable credentials, who has incredible skill at his job, and who, again, I believe is quite possibly the finest lawyer in Newnan. Harry, I still love you, but you know, I think that Vernon is the right person for this job. And as we move forward, I believe that Vernon is the right guy to lead us at this stage of the city, and I can't speak for him highly enough. He's a great man and he's a great lawyer. And I want his expertise to help guide us at this point where the city is in flux and where we do need help.
Mr.
So,
Mayor, I'd
yeah.
like to call the question, please.
Do we have a second?
It's already second, for motion and
Oh.
second. We're in discussion. I'm asking
Oh,
for
sorry.
vote.
Okay. With that, we'll call the vote. I'll ask for a roll call vote. Mr. Berta?
Councilman Verda votes nay.
Mr. Thomason?
No.
Ms. Morrison?
No.
I vote aye. Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
And Councilman Karitko is a nay.
Councilman Guillaume, nay.
All right. And with that, we suspend the city attorney position and we'll revisit in executive session.
I have a question. May I
Yeah.
ask a question about that? It would be my understanding that until Mr. Sears is replaced, he remains our city's attorney.
That's correct.
Thank you.
I would like to note, Mr. Sears, on this, I believe you should recuse yourself on this particular issue. All right, moving forward into municipal court solicitor Danielle Sewell. Any discussion, or can we accept
I'd like to
the vote?
make a motion to
Mo-
approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, municipal public defender Jim Strickland.
I'll make that motion also.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All right. With that, we move forward to reports of boards and commissions. And so first and foremost, appointments for the Christmas Commission. Ms. Jenkins, did you have a nominee?
On the next agenda, please.
Okay. Same for the, now we've got Convention Center Authority.
Next
Mr.
next
Crick?
agenda, please.
Next agenda. Development Authority, Ms. Jenkins.
Next agenda.
Next agenda. Ethics Commission, Ms. Jenkins.
Next agenda.
All right. Keep Newnan Butte, sorry, was that
of
ethics?
them.
Oh, both of them, okay. Sorry, I was seeing double. Keep Newnan Beautiful, Mr. Berta.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Arden Avery.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Planning Commission, I'm appointing, I would like to make the nomination of Janet Marie Gunnels.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Congratulations, Ms. Gunnels. Ms. Jenkins for Planning Commission.
I'd like to renominate Alton West.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Ms. Morrison for Planning Commission.
I would like to make a motion to nominate or somehow renominate Clay McIntyre.
Second.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, I thought that somebody said something about discussion. All opposed? All right, so I'll just put an arrow there. And Tree and Park Commission, Mr. Berta.
Would like to push that to the next agenda. Thank you.
Agenda. All right.
And Mr. Mayor, just kind of, what we've previously done, I think it's a good gesture from the city is anybody that wasn't reappointed, just sending them a letter, just thanking them for their service and their volunteerism to the city of Newnan. So I would appreciate that.
Okay, noted. All right, let's see. Reports of Boards and Commission. Reports on operations by city manager. Mr. Phillips, please.
Yes, under city policy, we have an annual floating holiday. We have 10 traditional holidays, and then a floating holiday that the mayor presents to the mayor and council for consideration at the first business meeting of the year. For 2026, it's our recommendation that we present forward President's Day, which is February the 16th, for your consideration. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept February 16th.
Second.
Second that motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that passes. Reports and communications from the mayor. Well, first off, thank you all for being here. I do appreciate you taking the time to come out. It is worth noting that after 32 years, we do see a change in Newnan. We've seen a lot of changes in Newnan over the recent years. As many of you know, I moved here with my family in 1998 at a time when the city's population was a third of what it currently is. I'm so grateful to all of the citizens of Newnan who have been supportive, both of me and of this city more generally, as we move forward. And all that I can hope to do is to do the best that I can. Clearly, there might be some points of parliamentary procedure I need to refresh on. It's also a little bit different here than it is at either at the North Georgia Conference of the Methodist Church or of the Demosthenian Society at the University of Georgia. So please have some patience with me as we get into the swing of things. I would also note that as we move forward, Newnan has changed a lot. Newnan will continue to change. And I hope that I can have all of the support of all of the people, whether you voted for me or not, and that this council, whether you voted for them or not, has your support in us moving in a direction that is that allows us to make this city the one that we want our children to grow up in. I'm so appreciative of all of you. I'm so appreciative of our city staff, of our fire and police departments who, and I say this truly, are amazing. Believe me, I was looking for flaws. I wanted to see where we could fix things, and y'all made it very difficult to find anything. And that's a great problem to have. So I'm very appreciative to all the work you've done, and the same is true of our city staff. Thanks to all the city staff. Thank you to Mr. Sears for your continued work as our city attorney. And thank all of you for coming out. The work continues. There's a lot more to be done, but I want to thank all of you for getting us started on the right foot here today. With that, we've got unfinished business. We have a request from the Summer Grove neighborhood to post banners at their end. Oh, sorry.
New business.
Where's the, oh, that would come up. Sorry, I accidentally marked the wrong. So new business, item K, public hearing on application for alcohol beverage license, Ito Ramen Bar. Sorry. We're opening, we're opening this to public hearing. Do we have someone from that petition? Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Will you please come forward and, what, sorry? Okay, yeah. Would you please, do you have any comments to put on that? Do we have any materials on this? Okay. Was that? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Well, but is there any further comment outside of the packet on this is my question? This is open for public comment. Does anyone want to speak from the public? Sorry. All right, seeing none, can we get a motion to call? Oh, sorry.
Close
Yeah.
the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can we get a motion to close the public hearing?
No. you
Sorry.
just close it.
Oh, we just closed the public hearing. Apologies. I thought we needed a motion. Like I said, this is different from Demosthenian. Is there any discussion?
I'll make a
from the-
motion to approve.
Right.
Second.
Any discussion? All in, oh,
I did. Generally, we ask for the minutes, the clerk, if everything is in order. in the
oh,
application.
is everything in order for the application? Okay,
All right, I'll make
Sorry.
that motion again.
okay. And
I'll
again,
second that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that passes. Consideration of an ordinance to provide for the adoption of a budget. Its execution in effect for fiscal year beginning January 1st. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Could you
Mr.
please speak to
Mayor.
this? Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. As you're aware, the budget was presented during a public meeting on December 9th. The budget contains a general fund budget of $43.4 million, as well as a sanitation fund budget of $5.6 million. The budget is balanced. There are no reserves used in the preparation of this budget. There are additional funds, 12 separate funds that are restricted funds that account for $24.1 million. I would note that the city is financially stable with 9 months of reserve. Staff would recommend council to approve the budget at this time.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the budget,
Second.
All right.
or to amend, to approve it.
Well, just very
Adopt.
briefly, is there any discussion? Does anyone have any discussion points? So if you would make that motion, and do we have a second? Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Consideration of a resolution to amend the 2026 pay plan.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Staff recommends approval of the amendments to the pay plan for 26. The pay scales have been amended to include a 2% increase to the minimum of the scale and to the maximum of the pay plan. These adjustments were factored into the 26 budget that you just approved. Staff would recommend approval.
All right. Any discussion? Seeing none, is there a motion for?
Make that motion to approve.
In a second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Sorry, what?
Discussion comes after,
After the motion.
after the motion.
Oh, apologies. Okay, sorry, I'm getting turned around. With that, it's approved. Consideration of a resolution to support the funding request for additional phases of the Jefferson Street roundabout. Oh, great, okay. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mayor Shepherd and members of the council. Forgive me if I talk too much in acronyms. I'm going to try not to use them, but the engineering uses a lot of acronyms. But the Atlanta Regional Commission has called for funding, project funding. And one of the projects that we have in the works is the roundabout construction at Jefferson Street, where we realign Sprayberry Road to Greason Trail and construct a roundabout. We are in the preliminary engineering phase. That's been funded. There's a concept before the Georgia Department of Transportation for approval. The next phases would be right-of-way, utilities, and construction. And this is our opportunity to go back to the ARC and ask for federal funding assistance for these 3 phases. So that's what I've laid out for you here. One of the requirements of the application is that the local governing body has a resolution showing support so that they would consider that. And I've given you some dollar amounts, and if you have any questions about that or want to see the project, I believe we have a concept available if you need it.
Does the council, anyone on the council need to see that? All right, I think we're fine. Anybody make a motion to open floor for discussion?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Oh, great.
Second.
Great. Pardon. Any discussion here? Sorry. Anybody? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve, or to call the question? Motion to call the question?
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, none. All right. Well, I'm just, sorry, I'm writing something down real quick. So all in favor of the resolution, or consideration of the resolution, or, sorry, all in favor of this resolution?
Nope.
We just voted.
Aye.
Oh, okay, then
So we're on
yeah.
item O.
Okay, all right, that's, yeah. Consideration of streets proposed for maintenance and paving for fiscal year 2026.
Mayor Shepherd, I'm still up.
Yeah,
We have been, with the city of Newnan, we've had a short to mid-term range program for paving our local streets. The city council had determined that that was important to them in the past, and so we are continuing with that plan. This would be, not to confuse you, this would be the streets that we had planned for 2027, but we've gotten additional funding from Georgia DOT in the interim, and we are accelerating our program.
I'm sorry, could you pull the microphone down a little bit? I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing up here. I'm getting some feedback, so my apologies.
Is that better?
That is better.
I
Thank
usually
you.
speak pretty loud, but.
No, you're doing great. I'm getting.
Because I can't hear.
Yeah.
So the streets I have we put together, this would be the final round of the plan that we had presented early The idea of the plan is it will be rolling, and we will be bringing you advancements of that plan in the future after we do another pavement assessment, which is undergoing right now.
And sorry, just a quick question. When would that be completed, or when would that be brought?
It is underway, and the tentative schedule is March. And what that plan essentially does for the new members is that it analyzes our streets block by block. It's that detailed, and so we take that and try to do the right thing to the right street at the right time. And it sounds like a slogan, but it is. So, I've
good slogan. That's
I've got the remainder of the streets that for the we call it LMIG. It's the Local Maintenance Improvement Grant that the Georgia DOT funds based on our centerline road miles. It's a formula, and I'm recommending that for approval. And the deadline for my application is February 1.
So, Mr. Mayor, with that being said, and then we can have discussion afterwards,
Right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the list, the streets as proposed by, or as given by staff.
Fantastic.
Second.
Great. Any discussion, further discussion needed? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approved.
Mr. Mayor, on this next item, I need to recuse myself.
Okay.
I have an indirect interest with this, with ISE regarding leasing of office space.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Thomason. All right, we move into a consideration of a request from Integrated Science and Engineering for additional professional service fees regarding Newnan Crossing Boulevard and Stillwood Drive roundabout design. Mr. Phillips.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Yes, this is a request, as you stated, from Integrated Science and Engineering, engineering firm on the roundabout that has just recently began construction on Newnan Crossing Boulevard at Stillwood Farms. Integrated has submitted a request for a change order. The change order exceeds the authority as provided by the city's policy, so it has to be considered by this particular body. I have given some background information in the actual agenda. We also have Mr. Dan Davis, the owner of Integrated Science here, that can answer any questions that you may have towards him. So thank you.
All right. All right, motion to consider.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
All right.
Second.
Any discussion or question? Also, sorry, who was the party from ISE?
Davis.
Mr. Davis, sorry, would you mind coming to the podium just in case we have questions? Because I think I might have a few. Clay Neely's a liar. I'm just kidding,
It's on the
Clay.
record.
I love you. You know, I'm not here to attack the press yet.
Good afternoon. My name
Yes.
is Dan Davis.
Yes.
Integrated Science and Engineering. We have been working on this roundabout for the better part of 4 to 5 years now. It began as a simple roundabout exercise. A large development was proposed there at Poplar Road, the intersection of Poplar Road and the interstate. So the project was paused while the traffic considerations for that were made. It was determined to be a project that merited a DR, Development of Regional Impact. And so we went, in collaboration with the staff, we went through an extensive process to working with their engineer as well to consider ways to address traffic concerns that would be created by that development. And it had to do with connecting that development to the roundabout that we had under design. We furthermore looked at further widening of Newnan Crossing Boulevard all the way up to the CVS intersection, widening that. It was a good bit of effort. The design is complete. The project went out to bid. It's been let to a contractor, and we're just finalizing our accounting for this phase of the design phase, if you will.
Mhm.
So our request is for the additional fees, the efforts that it took for us to support the city in addressing the large development.
Absolutely. And just a question from the chair. What exactly was the driver of these additional costs? And was there any discussion or change orders placed during that of this? And part of this is just for the sake of transparency.
Sure. Yeah, it was driven by the DRI process that determined by the Atlanta Regional Commission was to consider how to alleviate the traffic. So the design was put on hold. We looked at changing it from a single lane roundabout to a multi-lane roundabout. We looked at the widening of Newnan Crossing Boulevard from that location all the way up to CVS, like I said. We created drawings, we coordinated with their engineer. It's a pretty extensive effort.
Right. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback up here. I apologize. So over the course of when, and I say that we're seeing this kind of, this seems to be a little bit after the fact in terms of the work has been already done. And I'm just trying to understand where the additional kind of, when this additional cost came up or when it became clear that this was going to come up, just to make sure I understand.
We were communicating with the staff, with Mr. Clark at the time, about additional fees, and we determined that we would cover it at this phase. Now that the project is out to bid, like I said, we're closing the accounting phase for the design phase, and we're moving into services that have to do with construction.
Okay.
And as I understand, you can make sure I understand it also, it's the fourth spoke and it's the widening.
That's right.
Basically, it's those unexpected things from the DRI that kind of mandated now that you have to do
Yes,
these
sir.
things.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the drawings that we created are, you know, there could very well be a day when the four spoke will be added to that roundabout. So we have a lot of work in place that can be taken advantage of by the city.
Mr. Phillips, could you speak to this?
Yeah. The development, Poplar Place that we were referring to, which was approved by this body a few years ago, there was a condition placed on that particular rezoning that the developer would actually pay for the extension. We were under the perception that the development was going to go forward pretty immediately, and that cost related to integrated were going to be funded by the developer. Well, as you know, the development hasn't gone forward. I don't know what their plans are to go forward. They certainly have, without no plans to go forward, aren't willing to pay the services of Mr. Davis. So that's kind of why we got here in this financial position.
Okay. And
Transparency.
yeah, no, and I appreciate the transparency, and that's why I'm going to ask you some more questions, even though I've read some of this. I've read all of it as far as I know, unless I've missed a couple pages. Has this happened before, or is this particularly with IC, but with any, has this happened to this?
No, I mean, we've got a long
Yeah.
relationship with Integrated Science. I think it's maybe the first time you've been for us with a change order request that I can
Yes, sir.
recall. And I think you'll see that our staff does a really good job with contracts. We have very few change orders, so we manage those pretty tightly.
Yeah.
So this is probably the first time I can recall coming to the council with a change order request in probably several years. So,
Oh, perfect. As far as I can tell, it does seem like fairly exceptional circumstances.
thanks.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Do we have a motion?
Sorry, do we have,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
To approve.
and all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, then approved. Okay, with that, we move into unfinished business. Item Q, our request from Summer Grove to post banners at the entrances for 2026 events.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second?
All right.
Second.
All right, do we have, is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, motion to call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, seeing none, that is approved. With that, we motion to enter into executive session.
Do we have a reason for executive session?
Was that?
Do we have a reason for executive
I
session?
think we should discuss the question of the
Okay, so
issue
we're
here.
in law?
Was that? Okay,
For legal.
okay, so we will, okay, with that, can I have a motion to enter into executive session?
Right here. Let's go.
I move that we now enter into closed session as allowed by OCGA 50-14-4 and pursuant to advice by the city attorney for the purpose of discussing legal and real estate, and that we, in open session, adopt a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor or presiding officer to execute an affidavit in compliance with OCGA 50-14-4, and that this body ratify the actions of the council taken in closed session and confirm that the subject matters of the closed session were within exceptions permitted by the open meetings law.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, with that, we adjourn to executive session. Thank you again, everybody, for coming today.